Yes, I know. I have her with me. I've actually been in Philadelphia the last few months while Tom's been shooting, so now I get to come back and go to work. And yeah, we just kind of trade off, and our daughter is so happy, and so that's all that matters. And I'm excited for her to come to set for a few days and, be with mom at work.
Haley and her co-star Tom Bateman.
Waiting on George. Go ahead.
Okay.
You need some help?
No. Oh, well, I am in all white. Yes.
What's going on?
Mary, we got some bed.
A new spin-off titled Stuart Fails to Save the Universe is set to expand the Big Bang Theory universe, this time focusing on Stuart Bloom, the often overlooked comic book store owner played by Kevin Sussman. Unlike previous spin-offs, this show is set in the present and puts Stuart in the spotlight as the main character. After years of being a background figure and struggling with loneliness, financial hardship, and failed romances, Stuart now has a chance to shine, alongside his romantic partner Denise, played by Lauren Lapkus, who played a key role in his late series development. Joining Stuart in this new series are 3 other returning characters from The Big Bang Theory. Denise, who not only works with Stuart but is also his romantic partner. Bert Kibler, the quirky geologist known for his awkward charm and underappreciated scientific achievements. Barry Kripke, the antagonistic yet hilarious physicist famous for his rivalry with Sheldon. Each of these characters, previously relegated to side roles, will now play more central parts in the spin-off. With Chuck Lorre once again at the helm, fans are hopeful that Stuart Fails to Save the Universe will capture the same magic that made The Big Bang Theory such a hit. While plot details are still under wraps, the spotlight on fan-favorite side characters has already generated excitement for what's next in this ever-growing sitcom universe. All 4 of The Big Bang Theory characters set to appear in Stuart Fails to Save the Universe. Fans were absolutely bummed when The Big Bang Theory ended in 2019. The sitcom was way ahead of all the other shows out there and brought an interesting take on humor with a mix of science in it. But the creators were smart and tried to expand this hilarious universe into several spin-offs. From Young Sheldon, which detailed the early years of Sheldon Cooper, to Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, Chuck Lorre was adamant about bringing his genius to the CBS screens. Now he's done it again with Stuart Fails to Save the Universe. This time, he is heading into new territory, as unlike other spin-offs, this one is set in the present. Moreover, it'll also bring more focus to an often overlooked character, Stuart Bloom. This role was played by actor Kevin Sussman in The Big Bang Theory, and unlike his character there, he's now leading Stuart Fails to Save the Universe. But he obviously won't be doing this alone, and 3 other recognizable faces from Big Bang are also all set to return. So, let's take a look at all the characters from the original show that are all set to return for the upcoming spin-off, starting with the protagonist himself. Stuart Bloom, as a character, has spent most of The Big Bang Theory on the fringes, but now he's stepping into the spotlight. As a comic book owner, he had the main cast almost every day in his store, but he was rarely the center of attention. He was rarely seen as a true friend and more like someone they would turn to when they needed a favor, yet, through all of this, Stuart remained a lovable underdog while also navigating through his financial struggles, loneliness, and an endless string of misfortunes with a rather dry sense of humor. Stuart was a graduate of the Rhode Island School of Design and had artistic aspirations to make it big in the industry, but he never managed to find his much-deserved breakthrough, so instead, he poured all of his energy into running the comic book store. While Sheldon, Leonard, Raj, and Howard were the heart of the show, he never quite fit in the way he wanted. His attempts at romance followed the same pattern. He briefly dated Penny and later Amy. However, both of these storylines were put in place to push the narrative of the main characters instead of Stuart's happiness. For most of the show, he was painted as the guy who just couldn't catch a break. It wasn't until the final season that things started to shape in his favor, and he found a genuine romantic connection with Denise. Now, after years of being the odd one out, Stuart Bloom is finally getting his much-deserved attention. With Stuart Fails to Save the Universe, he's going to be at the center of a brand new story. This would obviously be the ultimate redemption for him to come out from the background and into a world of his own. While Stuart may have spent the entire Big Bang Theory on the sidelines, his story didn't just end there. In the later seasons of the show, after multiple failed attempts to find a girlfriend, the makers brought in Denise, giving him a rare moment of happiness in the show. Now, as he steps into the limelight with Stuart Fails to Save the Universe, Denise is right there with him. Actress Lauren Lapkus joined the show in 2018 as the assistant manager of Stuart's comic book store. But as the show progressed, she quickly proved to be much more than just his employee. She was a true comic book expert and even earned Sheldon's approval. But more than anything, she became the first person in a long time who genuinely appreciated Stuart for who he was. Their relationship started in the Big Bang Theory way possible, bonding over all things sci-fi and fantasy. From their first date, which Stuart nearly ruined by overdoing his spray tan, to their hilariously awkward conversation about moving together, the duo had just the right amount of chaos. But at the end of the show, Stuart finally got something he had always longed for: stability. Now, it seems like fans will get a deeper look at their story when they embark on a new chapter in Stuart Fails to Save the Universe. While the plot details of the spin-off remain largely under wraps at the moment, it's pretty clear that she'll definitely play a major role in his storyline. He'll be right there proving why she was never a side character, she was always part of his story. Bert Kibler, played by Brian Posehn, may have been an outsider in The Big Bang Theory, but that never stopped him from making his presence known. He was the lovable yet socially awkward geologist from Caltech and spent most of his time in the shadows, unnoticed by colleagues, unlucky in love, and often used as a punchline of a joke. But with Stuart Fails to Save the Universe, things are going to be different for him. With the upcoming spin-off, he'll be stepping back into the central storyline, and this time, he might just have a bigger role to play than anybody expected. In Big Bang Theory, he was introduced as a quiet figure, and his fascination with rocks was matched only by his unfortunate knack for awkward interactions. Whether it was bringing a rare stone for Amy to win her over or dating a woman who was clearly in it for his MacArthur Fellowship grant, his personal life was sort of like a roller coaster ride. Despite this, he never had any malicious intentions on the show and was just a lonely guy looking for companionship. His biggest claim to fame and probably the most screen time he got on the show was in the episode titled The Geology Elevation. Here, he won $625,000 for the grant, and this was also the moment that sent Sheldon into a spiral of jealousy. Suddenly, the guy no one took seriously was decorated as a scientist. But even this didn't last for long, and just like his relationship with Rebecca, it ended as quickly as it began. Out of all the characters in the list, Barry Kripke, played by actor John Ross Bowie, got the most attention throughout the series. His interactions with the gang, especially with Jim Parsons' Sheldon, provided comedic relief and pushed the boundaries of social awkwardness and rivalry to a whole new level. From humiliating Sheldon O.